Hello there, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Give me just a moment. Just finishing setting up. Okay, good stuff. Had to make sure I turned that off. So today we're going to spend some time in the Redwoods. Mostly working on small plant distribution, making it a little more interesting, and I need to fix up these paths because a little while back I changed some things with the landscape material and it caused this to happen. So I need to fix this. But thank you all for dropping in. I do very much appreciate it. How's everyone doing today? Now I apologize if I'm a bit slow today. My dog woke me up at 5 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep, so it's been one of those days. Lots of caffeine. I'm pretty good, just having too much caffeine in one day. And of course we're not going to be painting paths the entire time, just want to fix this up while it's over here. Oh yes, I agree. I wake up every day and I make a huge espresso, just straight black coffee. It's a vibe, I'm telling you. This is one of those things though, like it's been something I need to fix for a while and I keep forgetting, so I figure I should do it while I'm looking at it. It's true. But I mean, there are definitely worse things than espresso, so I'll accept it. Gotta make the brain move fast so I can make nice places. But a while back I decreased the density of the plants in general in the redwoods because it was just a little too much. When you'd walk through, it was hard to see, that kind of thing. So we're gonna make some spots today that are more dense in some areas, because right now a lot of the plants are on the smaller side, and that's fine, but it makes it feel kind of empty. So I want to fix that. Why, thank you. I love the jungle. I realized though it'd been a while since I worked on the redwoods on a stream, and this is probably my favorite biome. I'll come back and fix this part later because I need to also add a river right there. Yeah, I really want to go in real life. I haven't been able to, but definitely plan to. I have a feeling I'm just going to be sitting out there photo scanning the entire time. I really badly want to photo scan a giant sequoia. I do hope so. Okay, it looks like that might have been all I needed to fix. Other than the, where a stream used to be there. Okay. So let's take a look at the small plants. Ah, that's amazing. I'm so jealous. I would love to go see them. I'm so desperate that I'm growing a tiny giant sequoia and a tiny coast redwood in my backyard, which they're way out of their natural range, but it works. That is so amazing. I wish I could be that close to them. Would definitely love to see them in person. Just need to open up a few of these. I think that's all of them. Oh, I forgot to open that one. Last week I visited the Kilimanjaro. That is amazing. I'd love to go there too. It's relaxing working on it too. Like, I just do it pretty much all day because it's relaxing and I like the view. Let's see what these are. So some of them we're going to be replacing these. I don't know if I want to keep that. For now I'll leave it, but you got redwoods and sequoias. I know. I'm very jealous. The closest I have here, other than my little ones I'm growing, there's somebody down the street with a big dawn redwood, but those aren't anything like the coast redwood and giant sequoia. So I need to bump this up, I think. It's probably a little bit more. So what we're doing right now, before I go to actually painting any plants, I have some that are connected to the landscape material that just automatically spawn when I paint a certain landscape material. So I want to adjust those first. Just making sure I know which ones are in here. Will there be foliage physics? Yes. Yes, we do have that. Let me turn down the camera speed because it's a bit too high. I want to get in a nice clearing so I can have a better idea of the change when I make it. I think we can bump this up a little bit more. So the main thing I want to focus on here is, at least from all the pictures I've looked at, because I don't live close, ferns are very common in this kind of area. So I want to have a lot of them. It's a little better. I think this grass though might, well, no, that grass is okay. This one might have to go. It's a little out of place here. Have we had any features we wanted to add but been having trouble with or couldn't add? I think so far the biggest one I can think of like that, probably that I would like to have flooding and things like that dynamically, but so far I haven't found a way to do that where it would be performant, and I'm really big about optimization, so I really don't want to kill performance over something like that. So if I find a way, I'm definitely going to, but so far I haven't. Ferns are the most common plants in the redwoods. Yes, that's definitely what it looks like from what I've seen. I made these ferns specifically for the redwoods because I wanted them to be accurate. They're probably not the exact species, but they are sword ferns, like what you would see there pretty commonly. Okay. I'm probably going to replace the cover stones, but we'll wait. Gonna focus on the plants first. Just making sure there are no ferns in the other layers before I do anything more with them. Let's... Ah, there are more. Ha ha. I knew it. Let's set that to 200 because ferns are amazing. We're getting there. We're getting there. I think I do want a little more size variation though. Of course I backed out of the other one that had ferns in it. There it is. Hot springs. Those would be pretty cool. We've definitely talked about it. I think I probably will end up doing that. Do like a little bit more variation. Let's see. Oh, I always look away when you type. My bad. Ghillie suits. That would be awesome. I wouldn't have any say in it, but I like the sound of it. Yeah, it's pretty misty as it is right now, but I'm working on finding a better looking fog effect that I can use because this one is good, but it's a little bit noisy. Okay, so far I like this. It's a little bit better. Oh. I picked the wrong plant. What am I doing? I'm fired. That's all there is to it. There we go. So I wanted a little more variation in the size. Looks a little better to me. So now I think let's adjust these. I like the plants, but I think we either need more variation or... Yeah, I think let's just add another plant alongside that one. Smaller redwood saplings and redwoods. We do have some, but they're not very noticeable. There's one right here. Oh, I zoomed right through it. Right there is a small one, but I think I want to replace those because they're the models that came with this pack of the giant sequoias, and I think they could be a lot better, personally. So I'm wanting to replace them. Moss too, yes. There's definitely a bunch of moss from what I've seen. Luckily, we have some Redwoods experts here, since I can't go see it myself. Yet. Let's see where I have these plants. Haha! I found them. So let's add a little bit more. Another idea? You are not being annoying at all. I just don't always see the messages since I'm looking back and forth. Go through the seasons. I've thought about that. I think if I can, I'm going to. I'm not sure off the top of my head how I would do it, but it's a cool idea. Density adjustment. Let's bump that up. It's probably going to look a little weird at first. I always have to play around with it a bit before it looks nice. Mud crabs. Hyperion style tree. Yes, actually. These in this forest are giant sequoias, so I wouldn't be putting it here if we were actually copying Hyperion, since it's a coast redwood. I'm planning to put coast redwoods outside of the giant sequoias, in the area between the jungle and the redwoods. And I definitely plan on having one Hyperion sized. I actually already made it, but I'm still tweaking it before I actually put it in the game. Do the scale. We're going to change the scale variation just a little bit because I really like them to be varied in size. When it rains, it will grow a tiny bit? Yes. That would be cool. I don't know how doable it would be from a performance standpoint, but it would be really cool. I guess the problem would be it would have to reset at some point, or it would just be an extremely dense forest. Let's add something here. I don't know what yet, but let's see. Maybe the tree fern? I'll see what this looks like. Maybe not. That is not a good look. One bush. See what this one looks like. A really big tree would be nice as a hotspot and for navigation. Yes, I totally agree. We do have one really big hollowed out giant sequoia in this forest. Actually planning on replacing it really soon because I cleaned it up some more. Just want to drop this down a little bit. It's one I had to cut really closely when I cut out the masked area, so it made the triangle count higher than I want it to be. Technically it would run fine this way, but I would like it to be a little lower. That's pretty good. Let's try these out, see how it looks. You stopped watching Battlefield 6 for this. I am honored. So this is going to freeze for just a minute or two when I do this. I procedurally place these at first, and then I manually tweak it from there. So it takes a moment to place them. Already done. Now I'm not seeing the new plant I just added. But you know what? That's fine. I think we need something taller anyways. Let's actually duplicate this and put a different plant. Oh. Giant dip or like a meteor impact site. That is a pretty cool idea. I might have to do that. Let's look at these, see if any of these fit this area. Don't really want things with flowers in it. That says it has some, but let's see. Oh, Douglas Iris flower. I need to look that one up. I haven't seen that. And a rock called Not a Rock. I would never. Except yes, I totally would. There's a log in the cove that I called Check the Logs. I guess we could just add another variation of this one. That should be reasonable. Need to look, make sure this is set up. Okay, it's not. So I need to put a little collision box inside of this so that we can interact with it. Put a sphere. Right there. That will work. Are we going to have smaller dinos? Yes. Although I don't remember the exact ones that we were looking at. Some fallen hollow trees for smaller dinos to hide in. Yes, I have a couple of fallen trees back here, but I'm trying not to go too heavy on them so that people can't just camp inside the logs, you know? Okay, let's try this again with this different bush. There we go. This one popped up. We need some more size variation though. Looks like I have it at 3 to 3.5. So let's set it from 2.5 to 4.5. This looks so relaxing and simple. I want to... Yes, it is relaxing. You just have to do it so much that you get used to it. Decent, decent. This is getting a lot closer to what I'm looking for. Then I think I'll just manually paint some areas that are a little bit more dense. So this one, It's having to load another part of the map, but I'm just going to run it. Counter the camping in the logs, termites attack. That's an amazing idea. Will burrowing be possible? I'm not certain on that one. Yeah, I think it's looking a little better too. I'll make some areas more dense. I just don't want the whole thing to be really dense, because then it's impossible to see. This will be just a moment while it places these. We can just stare at these plants in the meantime. Yes, I was looking at making some of those, I forget what they're called. The really bad smelling flowers. We also have a channel, I don't know if you've already been using it, but we also have a channel on our Discord channel that you can drop in and leave suggestions for the map. Will there be any tar pits or natural things that could kill players? That's a good question. It's something I'd have to talk to Islander about, because that would involve the programmers as well. There will be places to fall from, of course, but I would need to talk to him about adding more things. Sometimes when it's doing this, it takes a few minutes. It's placing thousands of plants. It's much faster than painting by hand, because I can still tweak it to look how I want, but it's painted for me automatically. I still do it by hand too, but getting struck by lightning, yes. That'd be pretty awesome. Terrible at the same time, but awesome. And one big thing I want to do while we're here today is add bigger rocks, things like that. Oh yes, riveting gameplay. Add bigger rocks and things like that in here just to break up the look of the forest. Ooh. Brain aneurysm mechanics. It's evil, I love it. This is the part of environment design that's less fun to watch. I do definitely want to add a rock called not a rock. And it will totally not be a rock. But also it will. Oh, I saw movement for a second. I think it's about to finish. You know, I think I would also have to quit. I don't blame you. Having a heart attack and just losing all of your progress. At least when it happens in real life, you don't know it happened. Assuming it ends your life. Still not pleasant, though. Definitely would like to add some vines, too. The only reason I haven't so far is that the trees move from wind, so you'd notice it when the vines didn't move with the trees. I have to wonder if hallucinogenic plants affected dinosaurs. What do you think? That'd be pretty funny. In the jungle there are aerial roots hanging from the fig trees, but not quite vines. Similar, though. We do have Amanita muscaria in the game. I guess if this doesn't finish up in a moment, I'll just restart the project so you don't have to watch this. Sometimes it takes a while. Just didn't think this one would take that long. Some monkeys eat charcoal. That's terrible. Can't say I've ever tasted it, just like street charcoal, but it sounds pretty terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up a second time in the background so we don't have to watch while it places these. And then the real question, can I run it twice? Wait. It actually just finished. Okay, that works. So I think let's add some things to block the view a little bit so it's not just the same view everywhere you go. I'll take a look at these. I've always tried to find places to use them, and there's just not that many places that these fit that well. But I think we could make this work. I'm going to remove that one. Let me find the path. That it? No. Oh wait, that was it. I was slightly off. Okay, so I want to make some more little walls like this. But I want the actual landscape to dip down a little bit. So you're going kind of inside like a ditch of some sort. Maybe right here will do. Do we have dead logs? Yes. I actually found that out on stream. I didn't know that we had them. And then I was very excited. I was told not to overuse them. I think he knew right away that I was going to overuse them. Because I will. Let's drop this down a bit. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, wait. Yeah, it looks like they're not following it, really. We'll fix it. Sometimes things get disconnected from the landscape, and it's just... I don't know why that happens, but it's been a common problem for a long time. And it's not my favorite. So we're going to drop down a lot of this, make kind of a hill that comes down from this area. I guess at least the trees are connected. It's just the little rocks. So I'll save this first. Let's correct those floating rocks and see how it looks. We'll go from there. Just want to make sure we have some landscape variation in here so it's not just flat. Add a dip in the ground like a path. Tree in place where it dips so it looks like it fell over. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. Oh yes, especially the knot rocks. You're right. The knot rocks are the best rocks. So I've been told. So we need to switch to this. Now it's finding the invalid ones. And it did. So now we fix them. Aha! Can you send the model? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see it. Now, hopefully, when I sculpt some more, it's going to actually follow the landscape. But I'm probably going to replace them anyways soon, so I guess even if they don't, it's fine. Look at that. They are, though. Wonderful. Wondrous when things work the first time. What a concept. Oh, thanks for dropping by. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. Good night. Thanks for dropping in. Yes, I didn't want to make it too easy to spot everyone when you're out here. I feel like as it is right now it would be, so wanted to fix that. There we go. That's about what I was going for. I think I'll drop that a little bit more though right there. Smooth it just a little since you'll be walking on that. Do we have mushrooms? Red ones? Brown ones? Yes, we do. I used them a few weeks ago in a stream, I think. I used them on some dead logs, but I definitely want to make some that are actually attached to the logs so I can just place them. Apex mud crab. Yes, yes, absolutely. Apex mud. I love it. The apex predator horseshoe crab. I mean, there's really no hiding. Just saying. Okay, so I saw a few more were invalid, so we're going to fix those real quick. It's one of those problems that the bigger your game gets, the more you'll see it. Will there be fully aquatics? Yes, I believe so. That's a bit better. So I'm just going to clear away some of these rocks, I guess, because I think they're a little bit too heavy on the path. Let's set it to like... I won't get rid of all of them. Just some. Never mind, that's almost all of them. I'll just paint some back. Looks like we need to even this out just a little bit more. That should work. Do we have mechanics to make waterfalls more realistic? Waterfalls, it's something that I'm focusing on a lot, and that's why there's not that many of them yet, that I want it to look better before I start using them everywhere. But I'm definitely going to try to find the best option I can that also isn't too heavy to render. We just have to make sure to put some totally not rocks out here. That is what we're aiming for. 200 players. Okay, now let's see if we can use some of these. I just wanted to have some spots with a nice view on the side of the path. Set that to local. The problem with these is that they make the opening really hard to avoid on the mesh. So it's difficult to use these, but I try to use them where I can because I like it. I think I hear thunder outside. This pleases me. We need it. Texas is way too hot. Completely unacceptable. Oh yes. One totally not rock with totally not rocks surrounding it. That sounds like the best option, if you ask me. I think I'm gonna add one more of these. And we'll just add some, like, rock wall kind of things above them to hide that opening on the top. Plus, because it will look cool. And that's a pretty solid reason, if you ask me. How long have I been modeling? I've modeled for less time than I've done environment design. I would say maybe 3-4 years I've been modeling. It's just that I've focused on foliage more than anything else, so that's... I just got really good at that one area. But definitely when it comes to characters, it's good that I'm not making them. Just saying. Nobody wants that. Now, is there some sort of background mesh I can use? Could use the roots. But the problem is those are already everywhere. Let's use something else. The rule of cool is always best, you're absolutely right. Spoken like a man who knows a knot rock when he sees one. What's harder, landscape or making a character? Personally, I'm really terrible at making characters. But I've also spent a lot more time doing landscapes, so I guess it's hard to say. That probably depends on the person. For me, it's a lot easier making a landscape, but I know it's not that way for everyone. Don't know if I can use this. We'll see. I just need something to be kind of like the ground right here. That works, that works. Just need to fill in some gaps. Baby gap. Make sure it's not sticking out the front. It is. How terrible. Okay. Now I think that's good. Just need to cover up a few spots. Easy enough. I'm thinking this mossy rock. Perhaps. Let's see. Landscape is a character. I guess, yeah, if you... Yeah, I guess it could be. I try to make sure the landscape has character, for sure. Ooh, not 33. We don't need a 33 times scale moss mound. That'd be pretty brutal. Almost as brutal as a knot rock. Perhaps. Okay, looks like that is sufficiently covered up. So let's check this side. A little bit of an opening there. Are there any dead redwoods? Yes. Although I mostly have them in another section of the forest so far. There are a couple over here, though. Let me see why this is so dark. Let's put it to default lit, see if it works better. Not at all. Maybe... ambient occlusion intensity. Nope, I'll leave it alone for now. But I do want more dead trees falling in this area. That's definitely one thing I was thinking about adding more of today because I love how that looks. Oh, I still need to cover up this spot. Completely didn't see it. More slopes it is. Yes, sir, that there is a slope. Looking real slope-like. Let's move this just a little bit. Excellent. And more of the moss mounds. I'm trying to reuse what I can. Yes. I'm not going to say what, but I have plans for trolling people. I can't just let people play. You know, you gotta have plans. And we're going to pack these all into a packed level actor. The reason I tried to use 2 of each is so that they would be instanced together. Ledge. Looks all ledge-like, if you ask me. But we need more models of dead trees in this area. It's just that resources for redwoods in general, coast redwoods or giant sequoias, they're very difficult to come across. Definitely a storm coming, I hear it. How glorious. And you will all be here with me in this moment. It was meant to be. Chest behind a waterfall. Yes. I feel like everyone would guess it, but at the same time I really want to. I also wanted to do that waterfall from Jurassic Park, but then I saw that the Isle did it. I don't want to copy anyone. One thing I need to do though is I need to add some spots where I can put more trees on this hill, like flat spots. You're probably right. And I'm on Reddit all the time, so I'm sure I would see it. Let me see which dead trees we have. Because it's definitely something I was thinking about. Probably not going to be in this section, I think. Yeah. Debris, maybe? There's one fallen tree. That one's already all over the place, though. This is one that I used another time, and this one has a hollow spot in the middle. And this is the one I'm not supposed to overuse. So we're definitely going to use it. One tree that needs fill out. You're probably right. Some of these are kind of floating in some spots, so I've been fixing that as I come across it. So let's make this bigger. I want to have this one leaning across the path. Listen to that thunder, glorious. Like everyone can hear it. I feel like it'd be a problem if my mic was picking that up. I'm gonna have to make sure that if I move these trees, I update the location of this log. Because I'm gonna kind of rest it on that other tree. That is true, I would be copying Mother Nature. But it was something I wanted to do, and then I was like, that would feel like I was poking at them or something. I don't want to do that. We're all friends here. I just have to make sure that spot doesn't come out of the ground. I have to adjust this more. Right there, I would say, is reasonable. Oh, wait, it's still sticking out of the ground. A little more down. There we go, and now it's resting on that branch. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think I'd get copyrighted, but maybe. I don't really want to risk it. So let's add some mushrooms too, like we were talking about. I think I might have moved them. We're about to look. Yeah, I think they might be here. Or in the characters. Items, maybe? No. Resources. Or not. Who knows where the mushrooms are? Where could they be? I know I found them once. Maybe they're still in the foliage tool in this area. Let's see. Oh, I have to unselect these. Ah, there they are. Are the plants models we made, or did we buy them? There's a mixture. The giant sequoias here, for example, are ones that we bought, but I also made a lot of the plants and trees on the map, like these ferns. I made these, and a bunch of the plants out here. Just depends. Over time, though, we're probably going to replace it with all models that we've made. But it's incredibly time-consuming making full geometry foliage, which is what we use in the game. So it's going to take a little while. Look at that. That is just perfect. I think I'll put some up here too, so that when it's this time of day, they'll be in the light. Wherever they are. Not sure if it actually painted any. Whoops. There we go. Saw a couple pop up. Bioluminescent plants. Yes. We haven't made them yet, but we do plan to have some. So I think on top of this, I also want to put some vines hanging down, which I also might have in the foliage tool again. Let me see. I do. So we're going to use some of these boys right here. Oh. Accidentally painted somewhere off in the distance. I don't want to find them later on. There we go. I do want to check real quick. Let me go back to that. They're decimating more than I want them to, and I might know why that is off the top of my head, but just want to double check. They are set up correctly. It'll take a little tuning, but I can get that to stop. Pretty solid though. I like it. So we'll keep moving on. Probably back over this direction a little bit because I want to fill out some of these empty spots. I think we're going to put a big hollow log somewhere. I think let's put... deciding where. Let's put a rock, and the log is going to be leading up the rock, and you can go inside the log. Put it right here. We'll just use a few of these since they're already made for this location. We're going to make them big though, because we can. Where do you donate? We have a Patreon if you'd like to use that. We also have a Discord channel, and you could talk to some of the guys that do more of, like Islander, for example. He handles everything on the business side, so he'd probably have a good suggestion. I really appreciate it. See, I'm just the guy that plays adult Legos all day. And I'm very mature. Completely. Look at these knot rocks. Tactical rock. You're right. But I'm not nerfing the rock. No, sir. We're going to make this one strong rock. And it will never be nerfed. Love how I can't see anything right there. Gonna move it all over just a little bit. I'll turn it. That's a vibe. Beautiful knot rocks, yes. You're absolutely right. Knot rock A. Now when somebody's looking through the files, they'll be like, ah yes, this is not a rock. And that's that. Nothing can be done about it. Will there be canoes in the game? I don't know for sure yet if they'll be usable, but I believe so. But we do have some. I'm pretty sure they're meant to be usable. You and me both. We're both at work. I really appreciate it, though. Thanks for dropping in. Now I want to put some large rocks here and there. The main goal is I want to block off the view in some spots. Thunder. It's glorious. I love it. Also at work. Wonderful. That was me too, though. Like, not that long ago, I worked in a tire shop and I was always doing game development related stuff while I was there. I won't be stopped. Sometimes you just have to tell the man how it's going to be. And then you do it. I'm pretty sure, yes. I'm going to use this. We're just going to change the material. Let me open up my monster here for some caffeine. Oh, yes. Materials. Rock clips. I think that's the one I want. Yes? Yes. Excellent. That there is a solid rock. Potentially a not rock. Not sure though. It may not be up to that quality. But it's close. It's a vibe. I'll keep it. Make it an interesting rock formation though. Just want to make sure it's not obvious where they're blending together. I think I'll open that up just a little bit more. There we go. And we're going to add some moss inside of it. Let's take a gander at this. We're going to throw a light in here for a moment because it's a pretty dark spot. Not sure yet if I'm going to use this, but in my head it seemed like a good idea. There we go. I'll use a couple of them. It's like a little moss bed. You come and hide in this area. Totally won't get mauled by something. It'll be great. Trust me. Moss o'clock. It is always moss o'clock, my friend. I don't know why. I have a thing for putting moss in just all of the biomes, except for desert. I just love it. I think we'll do more of that. I want to make sure this is sloped enough that you can walk onto it, and I think this will do the job. There we go. And we just have to cover up any seams left over by this. So of course, mossy rock. It's the only real option. And I think we're going to throw a few of these around because a big benefit of making these instances like this, where I make one actor out of multiple meshes, is that it's great for performance. Make sure I got them all. I did. Excellent. Not rock B. It's the most rocky not rock I've seen in a while, I must say. And we're going to place this around a few places, like I said, because if you were to see two of them on screen at the same time, they would both be rendered in half the draw calls, which is a vibe. I agree. It'd be awesome to jump around in the trees here. And we're about to have some tree houses here too, so that's going to be pretty great. Put another one over this way. Because a big thing, not just with Unreal Engine, but just developing games in general, overdraw is always an issue, which will happen when you have a lot of dense foliage, and there are other situations as well, but foliage is one of them. So blocking the view with things like big rocks, especially if you're using nanite, is great. Because nanite will cull everything that's behind that rock. That's another nanite mesh, that is. Meaning you could look at this side and everything behind it isn't being rendered. It's a pretty good spot. The moss is sticking up though. Let's move that down. There we go. We're gonna put this one or two more places. Mountains of dino droppings, yes. Fully approve. If I found out there was a place I could go and I could photoscan dino poop, I would do it 100%. Just to put it in the game. Real dino poop. Put this one over here. My whole thing is I'm trying to avoid really long distances where you see unobstructed views. As nice as it sounds, I like performance too. I'll leave that tree right there in the middle of it. Oh, that's the path. Didn't even think about it. We'll have to move it a little bit over here. There we go. You're right. I definitely have purposely made some Unreal projects just to basically light my GPU on fire, and it's pretty wonderful. It's just that if I were to release it like that, there'd be like 3 people that could play it. And that's no fun. Oh, what happened over here? This must not be the spot I think it is. Okay, it's not. Very good. Do need to find that spot though. I guess we'll go ahead and fill this river back up. I actually think it's more over this way. Let's see. Oh no, it is right here. So I used to have a river here, and when we removed the old river system I was using, we lost it. So we're going to go ahead and put it back. That is true. At least it's not CryEngine. I personally don't really see a redeeming quality about CryEngine. I know back in the day it was innovative. I still need to change this riverbed material because it's okay, but it's not very good. In fact, I think I'm going to use a different one right here because it's just not as good as the materials around it. So let's use this moss. I think the thing about CryEngine that I don't like is that it doesn't really have any features that separate it from the other graphics engines, and that generally it's not very friendly to work with. Like a big thing now is performance, but also having modern graphics. So when an engine addresses that, I like it. Even if it's harder to use. But it doesn't have that. I was hoping that Unity would be more of a competitor, but I guess I should have known they wouldn't. Competition is always good. Yes, I don't know why they would think it was smart to charge a fee. That backfired on them massively. I mean, it didn't have anything over other engines, so I'm not sure what they were thinking. It really is like painting. I think that's one thing I like about it. It's relaxing. Hey, I used to say that too. I used to not be able to make trees. You could. Happy little trees. Yes. But I think my main thing for me to be a fan of a graphics engine of any kind is I want them to have some kind of standout feature that helps with performance. Like for Unreal, Nanite is amazing. It's often misused, which is why it has a reputation, but it's amazing. And Unity doesn't have that, and neither does CryEngine. They just offer the same as anything else, really. So I want to see if I can get away with doing this. I don't know if I can. I have some really nice water materials I like to use, but they're specifically for places that are flat, usually. But let's see if we can make it work. 21st century Bob Ross, I'll take it. think I need to drop this down a little. So let's see if we can make this work. It's going to be difficult because it's not a flat area that's going to have water. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of plants, but I try to make it reasonable. It'll keep changing though. I definitely try not to make it terrible to walk through. That would kind of defeat the purpose of a game, wouldn't it? This looks a little odd. Well, that's part of it. Let's try a different material. I don't know if I like this one. Now that's pretty nice looking. I'm a fan of that. So like I said, I don't know if we're going to be able to make this work. But let's try. It's going to involve a lot of covering up spots. I feel like I'm going to be terrorized by everyone hiding in the water at this point. So my question is it going to look terrible if it slopes? Yes. Yes, it does look terrible. Okay, so we're going to have to use the other river asset we have. Cave system. Yes. We have smaller caves right now, but I have plans for a bigger cave system that actually goes a long distance. I haven't made it yet, but I definitely am going to. A bit more. Yeah, the old water system we used was really good for that, but the problem is that it just doesn't work with spatial loading, which we need for it to perform well. So this one also does that, it's just not quite as good at it. Which bothers me more than anyone, really. I have to adjust that up there. But otherwise, this is a good river system. Now we can make this a little more correct. So on this one, you choose where it goes with a spline, which is nice. Splines are only a pain in situations like this, in my opinion, where it's like lots of rapid terrain changes. And of course we'll make it fit better in a moment, but it is a start. Yeah, water can be done a bunch of different ways. One method that's stuck around for a long time is just using a flat plane like I was starting to do and just putting a material on it, which can be good, but it's really only good if you're going in a straight line. Actually going to add another point in the middle here so we can deform it a little bit closer. And we'll probably have to cover up the sides. Let's see, I'm going to try this way. Bring it back a little bit. Exactly. It really is like Minecraft for big boys. I love it. I feel like I could just, and I do, I could just make things all day and not get tired of it. It's too much fun. As of right now, water sources don't deplete. But I don't know if something's going to be done about that. That would be more of a question for the programmers. Let's see, I think I have that point a little too far to the side. I'm going to move this back. This is where these are a little painful to use when you're deforming on terrain with changes so close to each other like this. So I'm going to bring this one right here. So I think this needs to go up a little bit. We're gonna just have to hide the sides of the water here. I think my other issue with this is that it's a little bit too clear. But we can change that. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I love working on the Redwoods. Sometimes it's one of the more challenging biomes, but at the same time, I like the atmosphere a lot. We do have a volcano, but at the moment, no plans for it to erupt, just because we haven't found a good performant way to have disasters like that. But we'd like to. Is there space for another spline point in the middle here? I don't know. I think what I'll be doing is adjusting the terrain around these a bit to make it fit the water better. The spots like that, that is not what I wanted. I'm curious if I could just use the old one that I already baked into a mesh, because I'm not a fan of how this one looks. Let me see which one this is. Oh, there it is. That... I think that one's from a different river. The easiest biome. I think maybe the jungle is the easiest one. I think this might be the simulation I was looking for, maybe? Let's see. Oh, I guess not. Thought it was. Woods River. Ah, there it is. So this is one that I already baked from a simulation into a mesh. If I can fit it back in the spot where it went, I could reuse it. Because this was my favorite outcome here. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. Because I don't really like how the other one looks. It's just not coming out the way I wanted. But this, if we can get it back into place, it was a good one. I think it was a little bit higher up. And we can just cover up the edge. Feels a little bit off. have to get to an angle where I can see it. Looks like it's fitting over here. Solid. Well, that works. I had to remove this because the tool was causing issues, but I can use just this baked mesh version of it without a problem. So let me make sure I didn't throw it off too much up there when I moved it. Oh, I did. Okay, we'll just sculpt the landscape right here then, just a little bit. We have the desert biome, meadows, jungle. You could call the swamp a biome. And the redwoods, we also have kind of an in-between redwoods and jungle. Okay, well there we are, we have the water back. I'm just going to do that then, because this way it will unload in a way that it'll still be performant. Oh yes, 100%. You have to slide down this stream on a horseshoe crab. You should probably have one with you at all times for your own safety. If you ask me. I'm a big advocate for horseshoe crab rights. And pretty soon we're going to do another river here that's going to go down underground, out this end, down to the ocean. So that'll be pretty awesome. You're right, crabs are people too. Looks like crab, tastes like people. Looks like everything lined up there, so we're good to go there. So let's add a little bit more in this area before the stream's over. Got a nice clearing right here. I don't really want to fill that up with more things. I want there to be some empty spots. I think right around here would be good. Absolutely 24-hour stream. Maybe one of these days, when I don't feel like an old man. Might be able to use one of these. Yeah, okay, let me find where the path is. Ideas. They're in my brain. Okay, let's bring that over here. Might be too big at 2x scaling, but let's see. I'll have to remove these trees, but I'm going to put them up on top of this. And I want to have like a little hill here. Hills here. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I'm going to bring the landscape up right here a little bit and temporarily remove these trees. Where are they? Ah, yes. Yeah, Ambush Hill. I approve. It's that kind of thinking that's going to get you ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Make that a bit bigger. We're going to raise this way up, because when we smooth it out, it's going to put it off the path I want it on. Yeah, I really like the Redwoods. It's a peaceful place. I have to remove some of these trees. Looks like they disconnected from the landscape anyways. So good time to remove and replace them. So let's see how that looks after we smooth it out. Because it's going to go way off where I want it to at first. We'll go from there. Bunch of ferns on top. You got it. You don't have to beg me for that. I will always add ferns. I have to flatten that area in a moment, but first let's focus on getting this level. It's always one of those things that sounds easier than it is, getting the ground to be level with the rocks right here, but it always turns out difficult. We'll have to cover up the edges a little bit, because it's nearly impossible to get it perfect. This is the fern biome. This land belongs to the ferns now. Okay, so let's just bring this down a little bit in the front. You know what? It'll be faster if we do it like this. Fern shrubbery, perhaps? Why not fern if fern shaped? Okay, that's good enough for up there. We'll just cover up any spots we need to. But let's get the back sloping up so it looks right. We're going to put some rocks right there anyways, so it's not real important how that terrain looks. That's right. I hear they demand ferns. I have reliable sources. So let's put some rocks here. Probably just some of these, so it matches the biome. I'll use 3 different ones in total. this one doesn't need to be so huge. And we're going to just bring it down on this side a little bit. For performance to use the same one repeatedly, so I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of the game running well. Who wants to play at 10 FPS? Unless you're just extra cinematic. Oh, well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. It's kind of weird, man. Oh, that's understandable. Because you have to spend so much on it, it gets to hear you crying when you drop all that cash. So it just makes sense to want to hear your PC cry in return. I get it. Maybe that was subconsciously the reason I started game development. I wanted to hear my PC cry. So going through my years of not knowing how to optimize anything, that was the time for it to cry. There we go. That looks pretty solid. So we're going to add some ferns on it, and once we have those added, we'll stop the stream after that so I can take a nap. Because I woke up at 5 a.m. I don't recommend it, unless you're getting paid. And then you have to question how much you're getting paid. Oh, my PC loves dramatic pauses. Oh, you want to edit this 100 million triangle landscape? Dramatic pause. I feel the same. I work from home and I still don't sleep. But I hear there ain't no rest for the wicked. So we demand shrubbery as compensation. Now, why would you make a choice like that? Get up at 5 a.m. unpaid. This will be not rocks. No, not rock. Sea. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I admit I was terrified to have everybody see it when I first joined, and I'd worked on it for like a month or two. I've been really pleasantly surprised. Because, you know, you look at your own stuff and you never feel like it's that great. Quicksand. That's something I would like, but we don't have any plans for it. Perhaps one day. That is understandable. I get you. I wish I could say I didn't get it, but I do. Okay, so we're going to add some ferns up here, because it would just be wrong not to. Oh yeah, we also need some trees. I did kind of take them away. Maybe not that many trees. Go. And ferns! Whoa. You're right. I just want to make a field completely full of ferns, so you can run through it and see them all reacting to you running through them. Thousands of ferns. If you're using nanite, you've got to use it to its full potential. Millions, thousands of ferns. Or it's just not worth it. It's true. It did happen. I saw it. And then there were ferns. Look at that. Ferns. I just want to munch it. Beautiful. But we will go ahead and stop here for the day. I will be back on Thursday at about the same time. And I believe we're going to work on a different biome that day. But thank you all for watching. And I will be back on Thursday. So I hope to see you all there. Have a good day, everyone.